According to Hindu customs, bathing in the Ganges River can cleanse one's sins. So it's not surprising to see the locals bathing in this river. They arrive early in the morning, performing their sacred rituals. The people here believe that the Ganges River is the embodiment of the godiment of the goddess Naga, a celestial deity from the heavens. Therefore, despite societal development, houses are built closely along one bank of the river, while the other bank remains a sandy desert deliberately left empty to have an unobstructed view of the sun's reflection on the river. I believe this is their way of showing respect,
willingly giving up their share of land
and sand to worship and honor the deities.
as abundant as the sands of the Ganges River may be. It is on this side of the river bank that we are confronted with a solemn tradition, the cremation of the deceased. In the beliefs of the Indian faith, human beings return to dust, so cremation is their primary funeral rite, followed by the scattering of ashes into the Ganges. They do not bury or create graves like in other countries. Witnessing these cremation scenes, I am suddenly shaken by the fragility of human life. We can halt our existence at any moment, and how can we embrace our departure with such tranquility? Taking a moment of stillness, we lit floating lanterns on the Ganges, offering prayers for ourselves and those around us, seeking benevolent blessing. Speaking of the Ganges, you may have heard that it attracts millions of pilgrims who embark on their spiritual journeys to destinations like Varanasi, Rishikesh, and Allahabad. Although the Ganges is a long river, this particular stretch resonates with the most fervor.
We embarked on a pilgrimage along the Ganges River at dawn. The mystical beauty of the Ganges unfolded before my eyes. A veil of mist covered the surface of the river, creating a magical illusion. Birds soared across the sky, presenting a breathtaking scene. We hired a boat to cruise along the river. As the boat drifted away, the sun began to rise, dispersing the foggy mist. The sunrise on the Ganges was incredibly captivating, blending the enigmatic space with a touch of sacredness ignited by the reverence of the local people. According to Hindu customs, bathing in the Ganges River can cleanse one's sins, so it's not surprising to see the locals bathing in this river. They arrive early in the morning, performing their sacred rituals.
The people here believe that the Ganges River is the embodiment of the goddess Nanga, a celestial deity from the heavens. Hence, despite the societal development, houses are built closely along one bank of the river, while the other bank is left as a sandy desert, deliberately empty to ensure an unobstructed view of the sun's reflection on the river. I believe this is their way of showing reverence, willingly giving up their share of land and sand to worship and honor the deities. As abundant as the sands of the Ganges River may be, it is on this side of the riverbank that we are confronted with a solemn tradition, the cremation of the deceased. In Indian beliefs, human beings return to dust, so cremation is their primary funeral rite, followed by the scattering of ashes into the Ganges. They do not bury or build graves like in other countries. Witnessing these cremation scenes, I am suddenly struck by the delicate nature of human life. We can halt our existence at any moment, and how can we embrace our departure with such serenity? Taking a moment of stillness, we lit floating lanterns on the Ganges, offering prayers for ourselves and those around us, seeking benevolent blessing. Speaking of the Ganges, you may have heard that it attracts millions of pilgrims who embark on their spiritual journeys to destinations like Varanasi, Rishikesh, and Allahabad. Although the Ganges is a long river, this particular stretch resonates with the most fervour.
Only when witnessing these scenes can one truly appreciate the unwavering devotion of Hindu followers and the beautiful morality they exhibit towards the religious and cultural traditions that have been passed down for thousands of years. Their profound faith has touched the divine, moved the heavens, and touched the tender heart within me. After a long journey, experiencing the Ganges River and listening to the locals' heartfelt stories, I realized that the Ganges is a sacred river with religious significance, which is manifested in the following aspects.
1. The Ganges descends from the heavens, making it a connection between the mortal world and the celestial realm. Through the Ganges, one can establish a relationship with the deities and receive blessings and powers from the
2. Eventually, the Ganges will merge into the depths of the ocean, becoming a link between the mortal world and the underworld, possessing the redemptive power for the deceased. Atonement can be obtained by water cremation or by releasing the act. The Ganges facilitates communication and connection with ancestors. 3. Combining the above 2 points, in Hindu tradition, the Ganges is believed to flow through 3 worlds: heaven, earth, and the underworld, becoming the messenger of the 3 worlds.
In Indian tradition, the Sanskrit term Triloka refers to the 3 worlds. Patha means path, Gamini means traveller, and Tirtha represents the meeting point of the spiritual world. the mortal world, and the souls of the deceased. 4. Hinduism believes that flowing water possesses the purest purifying power, capable of absorbing dirt and impurities and carrying them away. The purifying power of the Ganges is not limited to the physical realm. It can also cleanse the spiritual and mental realms, washing away the sins of those who bathe in it. 5. The act of Lord Shiva receiving the flow of the Ganges on his own hair is not a singular event, but an ongoing occurrence. As a continuous, unpredictable, and powerful source of energy, the Ganges is considered the Ganges serves as a direct connection to Lord Shiva. Through the waters of the Ganges, one can experience, admire, and absorb the energy of Lord Shiva.
Six. The goddess of the Ganges possesses the qualities of a mother in Hinduism. She accepts everything, is tolerant of everything, and forgives everything. She is also considered the mother of the deities with eternal divine qualities.
I believe that, in the past, the ancient Indians did not understand the principle of the water cycle in the atmosphere. Therefore, countless marvelous and dreamy stories were woven into such a magnificent river.
The accumulation of thousands of years of history has shaped this incredible country. India can be described as a place that evokes both love and hate. Complex interweaving of religious and cultural heritage has created a colourful human landscape, and the continuous flow of civilization over thousands of years has left behind magnificent temples and palaces.
The convergence of different ethnic groups, their clashes and interactions, has formed a unique cultural light here, making this land never quiet but bustling, sacred, and vibrant.
Leaning on the balcony, I immersed myself in contemplation, losing track of time.
The sound of a pilgrim's bell awakened me. I had to leave for the airport at 10 o'clock this morning to return home. I will cherish this river, this land, and the people here in my heart. I have embarked on a long journey exploring the Ganges River and the mystical wonders of India. Allow me to share a special story with you. It is the tale that a friend of mine recounted about a girl in their group who asked another friend to bring back some sand from the Ganges River as a memento. In her mind, she believed that by touching the sand from the Ganges, she would have a connection with its sacred flow, even if she can't come there.
The Ganges River is an ancient river that has witnessed countless souls and the cremation rituals of generations of Indians. Alongside the divine presence of the gods, it also carries the lingering souls yet to attain liberation.
Moreover, many believe that the sand from the Ganges should remain solely in the river and not be taken home, as it is not permitted by the divine spirits. However, the friend in their group, with sincerity and seeking permission, brought back some sand and carried it in their luggage on the journey back home. But their trip was fraught with challenges, from document issues to almost losing the suitcase containing the Ganges sand. In the end, they had to earnestly seek the blessings of Lord Shiva at New Delhi airport. Eventually, the flight safely returned home. When the girl received the sand in her hands, she was overwhelmed with emotions, and memories flooded back as if she had once lived there. That night, she had a dream where she saw herself as a princess who once resided along the Ganges. It was as if some spiritual force, a mystical aura of the divine, had empowered her to recall her past lives. In her dream, she felt like she was watching a movie playing on a screen, portraying her life as a princess in a lavish and opulent palace, but with limited opportunities to venture outside. Once, she escaped the palace with her handmaiden, and the stark contrast between the poverty-stricken local people and the splendor of the palace struck her. This is a unique aspect of India, where the divide between the rich and the poor and the social classes is quite evident. She and her handmaiden took a leisurely ride on the Ganges, surrounded by serene beauty, and it brought her immense happiness. After a while, she saw her father, the king, and his entourage catching up to them at the banks of the Ganges, forcing her to return to the palace. Yes, this was the recollection of her dream. It may be real, or it may be a fabrication, but undoubtedly, she experienced the sacredness of the Ganges. Only those who have lived along the Ganges possess such intense love, and just like when we accidentally brush past someone on the street, and if their gaze evokes strong emotions within us, then surely we have met them in our past lives. And if we pass each other without any significant feelings, perhaps even a sense of unfamiliarity, then it is possible that we have not known each other in the past. If you have watched this entire video of mine, whether we have met before or it's our first encounter, please consider subscribing to my channel, liking the video, and leaving a comment sharing your thoughts and emotions about this video. I look forward to see you again in future videos.